How's it going, everybody? It is a day ending in Y, so you know there's some Marvel Strike Force drama. This one's going to be about Blue Marvel, particularly his Red Stars and his event as a whole. So we're going to be talking about that in this video, and let's jump right into it, starting with where the source of the drama comes from. The source of the drama comes from this Race to Blue Marvel event. I'm kind of hiding the name of it here, where you can earn up to 7 Red Star Blue Marvel. We all knew this was coming, but this 28 days, now 27 days, not exactly what we expected, because they did have a blog that said, Race to Blue Marvel, earn Red Stars. While this event will last through the end of the year, earning as many Red Stars as fast as possible will ensure you'll stay one step ahead of the competition. I opened this web page yesterday, an hour after the Blue Marvel event went live, and I was like, hey, this doesn't mesh with the in-game. Well, let me go ahead and refresh this page for you. Let's scroll on down to the Race to Blue Marvel event part. This event will last through the end of the month of November. God damn. That's kind of a change, guys. That's kind of a big deal. That's a big change. I'm not sure how people are going to vibe with that. So this has got a lot of people upset. I would argue that there's even more reasons to be upset if we go in-game. Now, let me just scroll out first. If we go in-game and we go to the actual Blue Marvel event, the places where we're getting the Red Stars, with the completion level, you get the Red Stars for Blue Marvel, doesn't feel very good. And also, the fact that it throws you all to the end is really annoying. So, I have unlocked up to 2 Red Star Blue Marvel. I am halfway done the event. I can do this next node, and that'll get me the 3 Red Star Blue Marvel, because it's only level 4, right? In order to reach this place, I had to buy 3 of the Road to Blue Marvel offers, which is $40. It's like a weekly occurring thing, so it's $120. Plus, I dropped $40 yesterday so I could do the 5 nodes before knowing that they had shrunken the timetable on it, right? So I'm about $160, then you add taxes in to this event. I have 2 Red Star character. If I were to spend no more money from this point on, I'll get the 3 Red Star because I can get in here and I can whittle this node down. I'm still full 5 characters away from the city section. In the month, unless they go crazy with the next Purple ISO leaderboard, where they give us like 10 million for being the top 10,000, I'm not going to beat the city section without dropping money. And they did drop an event, and I want to talk about that event because I think that is why they shrunk the timetable on this. But there you go, guys. If you drop nearly $200 on Blue Marvel Purple ISO offers, you too can walk away with a 3 Red Star Blue Marvel. Doesn't that sound exciting? Isn't that enticing? And once again, and honestly, this whole conversation could go away if they just had a Red Star floor for these sort of chase characters. If this character had, hey, if you beat the timed run, you get a 4 Red Star Blue Marvel, then we wouldn't really be having this conversation. But as we're going to discuss in this video, Blue Marvel is a very stat-driven character, and the lack of stats will really hurt him. But how much will it hurt him? Well, that's going to be sort of even more interesting when we get there. But let's go and let's look at the offers for Blue Marvel right now, because this, I think, is what caused all this drama in the first place. You see, I did spend $40 on it yesterday, netting me the 2.2 million. This offer, if you were to exhaust this offer, this gives you exactly what you need to unlock Blue Marvel. This will give you enough for the 15 characters, and it comes with a reasonable price tag of $620. I'm being sarcastic. Don't fall out of your chair. I'm being sarcastic. That's not a reasonable offer for the character, right? This is why the timetable got crunched. I have not heard from an official source this is why. This is just the rumor mill and what makes the most sense. If you're a big spender, you can sometimes be privy to early information. And with that early information, if you say get mad because you now feel that your exclusivity against the mid-level spenders you face off against is in jeopardy, maybe you'll bitch, whine, complain, moan, cry, throw a temper tantrum, threaten to quit the game. Maybe. And maybe then somebody bends the knee and they say, okay, well, we'll shrink it in half and fuck the mid-spenders. You know, you spend twice or 3 times as much as them and fuck them. Who cares? That's probably what happened. Just being real, that's probably what happened. So, with that in mind, I now want to talk about the actual impacts this will have on your Blue Marvel, depending on the star levels you get, depending if you do not get any red stars at all during this month, And then we got to decide, hey, is Blue Marvel even still worth the chase for us? Or more questionable, was he ever worth the chase? Because we've had some interesting results of him already being in. So, maximum $620 USD. That is if you just get the Blue Marvel launch offers. You can actually break this down to more like 500, 550 if you were getting sort of those weekly offers. And depending on what you do on the last leaderboard, it's not exactly 620. All right? Just keep that in mind. But now let's look at the Blue Marvel kit and what Blue Marvel is actually bringing to us. Blue Marvel's basic. It does damage and escape guard reduction. Very, very powerful. I like that. His special does damage plus safeguard and immunity reduction, and it does a buff transfer. So whatever positive effects you have on Blue Marvel, he's going to put the opposite as negative effects on the enemy. Now, Blue Marvel starts with defense up, he gives himself offense up before this attack, and he also puts slow on this. So it's kind of the 3 original debuffs he's putting out there. Offense down, and slow. His ultimate does damage, it removes charge, it does a buff flip, and it applies disrupt and trauma. Pretty good. And then his passive, again, I'm kind of hiding it here. Maybe I'll try and shrink myself on the fly, which never goes poor. But there we go. Okay. Passive. He's got ramping stats. He's got an anti-OG Emma passive, so he can't have him or his team. Their speed stat cannot be reduced. That is an effect that only OG Emma does. He also has an anti-empower attack, where if you become empowered, he's going to hit you for some piercing damage. So if you go into him with Gamora, and she gets empowered, she's going to get one shot. That's a stupid example. There's also Mephisto, there's also Apocalypse. There's other characters that get empowered as well. OG Thanos, I guess, would be the weakest of those characters to bring up. My point is, it's an anti-empower effect. Now, he does other things here. There's some interesting damage. He obviously heals every time he's about to... every time he takes a turn, he does a big heal. I think he clears debuffs, stuff like that. Sort of the regular vanilla stuff you'll see epic characters do. So, pretty decent kit, but if you agree with me, let me know. This is just very much damage, right? The ramping stats is cool if those stats are high, right? And the damage is cool if your stats are innately high, which, hey, Red Stars, I'm talking to you, right? The anti-OG Emma passive, that's a cool thing, but we already have Nightcrawler and Apocalypse to do that, so keep that in mind. Let's continue on. Does Blue Marvel have any synergies? No, he has absolutely no synergies. Blue Marvel is the first epic character that comes to the game with no synergies. No Phoenix Force team for him. There's no Undying team for him. He's a lone wolf. And for his team, he brings the anti-OG Emma. After that, he is a very selfish character. He wants to do damage. He wants to take your buffs away, and he wants to hit you, and he wants to hit you really hard when he does that. And from what I'm hearing, he can do that very, very well at 5 yellow, 5 red. And probably do it even better at 7 yellow, 7 red. So these are Blue Marvel stats right now. The left is what a free-to-play player can expect to get, because if I had to spend $200 to get the 3 red stars, I'm telling you, the first red star is not available for free-to-play people within this first month, unless you're going really good on leaderboards. Unless you had a lot of stashed up, what was it, cores last time? Was it cores for the last one? And there's cores for the next one as well. Unless you're doing really good with your hoarding for those free-to-play leaderboards, you're going to probably walk away with a 7 yellow star character. So what kind of stats can we get for a 7 yellow star character? Well, everything else is equal, right? Level 105, gear 20, purple 5. He's still going to have 11 million life. He's still going to have nearly 800,000 damage. And he's still going to have 132 speed stat. He's not going to be horrible in some instances. If you give him that 7 yellow, 7 red, well, now he's got 15 million life and 1.1 million damage. Again, level 105, gear to 20, purple life, so 5. Pretty reasonable jump, actually. It's not like, if this was like 400,000, this was like 7 million life, it'd be like, all right, just don't try and unlock Blue Marvel at all. Who cares about this character? He's Garbo, right? He's still going to be okay. He's just going to be an offensive character for you at that point. Right? At 132, you'll end up using him on offense. You're still going to get some pretty good damage into him. Pretty decent effects with your slow offense down, defense down, stripping off safeguard, and that he's still going to be okay. But does that make this whole situation acceptable? No, it doesn't. Right? And by the way, 3 Diamond Daemons are one-shotting the Blue Marvel if he doesn't have some sort of stat multipliers like for war defense anyway. So they're probably going to run the Diamond leaderboard for Blue Marvel in the not-too-distant future once the Krakens that kind of, bullied them into doing this change see that, they're probably going to run the Diamond leaderboard for those guys. All right, I want to do a little bit of comparison before we wrap up this video. The cost of Zombie Kestrel. Zombie Kestrel minimum was $425 US dollars. So that would be, if you buy that, $179. That's Canadian money, so it's actually $125. And the offer beside it, $130. That's actually $100. If you exhaust those 4 offers, and then you just get the 45 shards they're giving away for free in the calendar, not using any of the event energy or anything like that, you would get the 7 red star, 1 diamond Kestrel, because there was a diamond in this offer, as you can see just below Kestrel's wing there. So what about Zombie Kestrel? Well, Zombie Kestrel's basic is just bleed and damage. Special is damage, and then on war offense, silence. She does give revive once to herself and Hela, and then again on war offense, she clears battlefield effect, and she'll apply battlefield effect. Her ultimate does damage, it does buff clear, it'll apply debuffs. Again, it's bleed, defense down and slow, and on war offense, she'll do trauma. Passive, she does out of turn damage, that's everywhere. But then, like, everything's war offense. So war offense spawn anti-charge. War offense spawn debuffs, bleeds, and trauma. And she needs her team to do the trauma. And then war offense for the anti-barrier, and war offense for the anti-safeguard. What about Kestrel synergies? This is where I think we start to see the bigger problem with Blue Marvel and the Red Star conversation in general. Kestrel has her team. Kestrel has the Undying team, and they've been in the game for a while, and they were nice and built up, and we can get diamonds on Zombie Juggernaut, we can get diamonds on Zombie Iron Man and Hela, and even Zombie Scarlet Witch, people are going to start getting higher stars on her, and I kind of expect her to go in the store soon. And she can get carried by her team. I have a 2 yellow star Kestrel. I just used her in war to take out this absolutely monstrous Astral team. The war before that, a monstrous Mephisto team. The war before that, a Mephisto, Super Skrull, Fantastic Four team. Walked over them. Mopped the floor with them. That made me excited to get Kestrel. That added value to Kestrel. The fact that she would make any sort of safeguard on spawn team very, very vulnerable to the Undying team, that made me excited for her as an epic character, and the fact that she can do insane damage after the fact certainly helps. So let's go ahead and let's look at Kestrel's stats. Free-to-play player on Kestrel can get at 2 yellow stars. Let's just say you're in the middle. You're not even trying to core her event. You're not doing anything like that. You're just going to get 2 yellow stars from the calendar, plus just doing the regular event, and you're just going to be happy with that, right? Well, we're looking still at 8 million life. It's only 3 million off from the 7 yellow star Blue Marvel, and only 500,000 damage, which not great. If we get her at the 1 diamond, well, 50 million life, so the same as Blue Marvel, but the damage only goes to 948. So she actually does less damage than Blue Marvel, plus a lot of her kit is war offense. Blue Marvel is an everywhere character. So if I'm looking at the value of Blue Marvel and Kestrel, if everything else is equal, Blue Marvel mops the floor with Kestrel as far as value goes. He doesn't need a team. He can be inserted into a team. He's a very selfish character. He's at least your anti-Emma passive. There's a lot of interest there. But if I'm a free-to-play player, and I'm thinking, which of these characters is actually going to give me more fun, give me more benefit in my day-to-day combats, it might actually be Kestrel. Because Kestrel is still doing her anti-safeguard across the board. She's still putting bleeds out there, so she can do that for Old Man Logan. She can do that for Scorpion. She can do that for a lot of characters. That is kind of more interesting for free-to-play players than Blue Marvel, especially because Blue Marvel is not going to be, earnable within the next 3 weeks. For a lot of you, if you are going to be unlocking them free-to-play, it's going to be like a 4 or 5 month adventure. Or maybe 6, 7, 8. I don't know. It depends what they do with Purple Ice, right? Some people unlock Professor X after a year, and they walked away with a 7 yellow star, 0 red star Professor X. I know 3 people that have that. It's not the same character, and it feels bad. It drains any excitement out of one of these chase characters. And Blue Marvel is a chase character, right? Blue Marvel, they gave a Dark Dimension style event. And when you gave him a Dark Dimension style event, it means this is an ongoing thing that persists day to day, that people, as soon as they can get in there and start getting more progression on it, they go and they do that. When they unlock Blue Marvel at 7 yellow stars as free to play, or 2 red stars if they're like light spenders, or maybe 3 red stars like I'm probably going to walk away with, and they throw them on Arena Defense, and Arena Defense does not have any defense multipliers. There's no 20% extra stats of defense in Arena. And someone comes in with their 3 Diamond Daemon and all the other tools they need to nullify whatever speed sets I'm doing on spawn, and he one-shots my Blue Marvel, and then he does double tap, one-shotting the rest of my team, then this chase character has become garbage, irrelevant, useless for me. And that's not fun, and that's not exciting. I don't begrudge people for spending money. I don't, like, I know some of you do. I really don't. I don't even begrudge them for wanting an extreme benefit for spending that much money. I think that's fine. That's how every other mobile game functions. Our mobile game kind of does it the least. There's such a better way to do that. And that better way to do that is by making a new system that those particular players will benefit from more than anybody else. I know this is going to be such a foreign concept to a lot of you and probably to any developer listening, but you should probably start looking at instituting a new progression path that is very long in the tooth, that is not used for these chase characters. That sure, you can buy some of the offers, but predominantly you're earning it by beating these really hard events, by doing really good in War, by doing really good in Crucible. Because right now your game has nothing that is fun to beat that has rewards in it. And you have your biggest spenders complaining about, well, I'm going to have a 7 red star Blue Marvel day 1. You know, Dorky Dad's going to have it at the 6-week mark, so he's still going to be able to beat me in Crucible every once in a while. Probably not. I've been very bad lately. Those players probably need a longer window of exclusivity that should not be gated behind a character, because character collection, and character building, and character use is what is fun in this game. An abstract progression path that'll impact some of their stats that they can put on particular characters they want to put on, that is earned throughout, and there's some offers for it here and there. That is such a healthier way to do this. And once again, anybody who gets a chase character, if you're in the comments and you have a 2 red star or 0 red star Professor X, how does that currently feel for you? We used to get red star floors on all these chase characters, up until Odin. I think Odin was 4 red stars. Mephisto, they gave 5 red stars. I'm actually a big fan of these race to blank character events. I think it's great that you give the biggest spenders right away a 7 red star character, and then they can turn that into diamonds whenever you do the next leaderboard. I'm not opposed to that whatsoever. I'm just opposed to, because red stars mean so, they both mean so little and mean so much. That's why it's so weird, right? Because they're not impactful as they used to be, you feel you need to go from one extreme, 7 red stars for people that spend, to the other extreme, which is 0 red stars for people who don't. And you're somewhat appeasing them. They're still going to lose to some people that are going to walk away with a 3 or 4 red star Blue Marvel. But you're just pissing this group of players off. And it feels like such a fumble. It feels like such a reactionary take to what a few people were probably like, rah, 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 rah. You need to work on a system to reward those players while not punishing everybody else. It needs to feel good. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the Blue Marvel. I think it's absolutely trash that they changed the time on it. I think it was a reactionary thing. I don't think this was planned. I think the offers were shown to people. They freaked out. They said, I'm quitting the game. And people were like, oh, wait, don't do that. We'll fuck everyone else over. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Not happy about it. At the end of the day, I think Blue Marvel is still going to be a decent character for people, just based on his stats. Let's go back to that page. Even at 7 yellow stars, I guess that's the argument that makes him somewhat more interesting than Zombie Kestrel, right? Zombie Kestrel will run now, and then she's vaulted for probably 6 months before we get more stars on her. Blue Marvel, because he's available forever, you will eventually get that 7 yellow stars. He will be doing decent damage. He's just going to be really vulnerable on defense. Let me know what you guys think below. I'm going to just leave it there. Not happy about it. I also don't think it's the end of the world. I think, once again, it's just like a reactionary, poorly thought out solution to a problem that they didn't notice until like the last hour before the event went live. And that's unfortunate. All right, bye guys.